Welcome to round three, round three of the F1 calendar. It is the Australian Grand Prix qualifying. We are live. This is live, and we have just entering the first few cars entering track. We have got the green light. I just noticed, let's edit that one little thing in the corner of the screen here. This is Q1, and that is how long we've got left of Q1. 17 minutes is an 18-minute session, and it has been a dominant F1 season thus far, both on and off the circuits. I'm going to try and keep my voice down to a minimum because it is 5 o'clock in the morning here in the UK where I am, and people are asleep. I've got neighbours. I've got a wife and a boy in bed, so got to be my best behaviour. We are live, and I'll try and keep my emotions low. But we genuinely could have a 6-way race for pole position today. The data has told us that Red Bull aren't quite as comfortable as they were in previous races. Certainly in the first 2 races of the season, it is a lot tighter. Ferrari do look good over a single lap. We are seeing higher tyre degradation than in the last race. We are seeing higher temperatures. We are seeing better lap times from competitors of Red Bull. We had a 10th between the top 5 in final practice. Now I know it's only practice, but the data suggests we may be in for a slightly better race. Let's check this audio because the audio doesn't sound that great, does it? Audio. All right, let's see what that does. So I'm prepared. This is early in the morning. I think that might be a little bit better. Uh, let's have a look. Are we? How's the audio? How's your audio, Ben? That's better. That's better. A little bit better. Right. So let's get back to racing matters, shall we? So pretty much everyone out on track at the moment. Mercedes were doing a lot of work prior to qualifying. In fact, as the green lights went, they were still doing work in the Mercedes garage. Let's see what happens there. As you can see, both Mercedes not out yet. Have they got an issue? They were looking much better in final practice. So the first fastest time so far is 117.8. That's going to come down considerably, probably to 116s, maybe into the 115s by the final Q3. We'll see. Teams to watch out for that could drop out. Well, we know the Kick Sauber F1 team, what we call them these days, they're going to be struggling. We know Logan Sargent for today after an accident. Ironically, Alex Albon had an issue in practice yesterday. His car was basically too damaged to be repaired for the race, so he has taken Sergeant Logan's car. What do you think of that, by the way, people? What do you think of that? Is that fair on Logan? I know Alex Albon is the most likely one to score points, if any at all, for the weekend, but is that a bit harsh? Verstappen goes to 117.4. Yeah, it's not. That's not. I know what. I'm just looking at 117 from Verstappen. It's not. It's not the quickest. It is not the quickest. Let's have a look what else is going to come up. So we've got Hulkenberg coming around to from that time. Verstappen complaining about understeer. Perez and Hulkenberg noted for impeding. Just a quick update there. Here comes George Russell, by the way, onto the track before his warm-up lap. And Hamilton, followed by Hamilton. So whatever it is they've done in the car, they've sorted it, and we'll see how that performance is affected. I'm not happy with this audio. Oh, hang on. Are we on? Where's the audio? There we go. There we go. Right. It normally helps when it's your microphone that's selected for the audio. It normally helps. I think we're sorted. There we go. That's better. It's too early. It is 5 a.m. in the morning here in the UK. Right. Timings. Leclerc goes fastest with 117.2, followed by Sainz. Couple attempts up on Verstappen. Those Red Bulls were struggling in final practice. The data suggests that the race pace is good, but they are vulnerable for pole position here today. In fact, there are 6 cars that could potentially finish on pole position. Don't discount the McLarens. Don't discount the Ferraris. Don't discount the Mercedes. Although I think Mercedes perhaps the most unlikely, but let's see. Certainly the Ferraris, in my opinion, if anyone's going to topple the Red Bull today, it's going to be a Ferrari, in my view. But it is very, very tight at the front. Over the single lap, anyway. Over the single lap. So, what else we got going on? So, Norris and Piastri there with a 117.7 and a 117.8. Everyone out on soft tyres at the moment, but some cars are doing 4 or 5 laps. It seems a bit like a couple of weeks ago where some teams are going out, doing a lap, cool down lap, and then another hot lap. But we are seeing higher degradations this time round. Welcome, by the way, wherever you're watching. Let me know in the comments where you are watching from. I am in the UK, and as always, I'll post your comments right there. Let me know what you think. Who is taking pole position today? Have we genuinely got a fight on our hands at the front of the grid? I mean, we're all praying for it. I can assure you. And I am trying. I'm trying. It's 5 a.m. here. That's what it's actually. It's 10, nearly 10 past 5. Trying to keep noise to a minimum. Trying to keep me excitement, me emotions low key. But welcome wherever you're watching from. I can see a few joining now on Facebook and on YouTube where we are live. And we will obviously be live for the race tomorrow morning. It will be a little bit earlier tomorrow. It's a 4 a.m. UK time race, 5 a.m. European time. It's an early race for us in the European region, and it's even earlier if you're in the US. It's like very early AM if you're in the US or Mexico or anywhere like that. So let me know where it is you're watching from. And Norris goes third, by the way. And Piastri goes third. So there we go. Look, just a 10th. So the Red Bulls are vulnerable. There goes Perez, though, second. It's game on. Here comes Fernando Alonso. Can he be a? Oh, Alonso goes quickest with a 1:16.9. There we go. I said keep an eye out on the another drivers here. I said it will go under 1:16s. We got the Mercedes still to cross yet. Russell and Hamilton, who I believe are both, or so Hamilton's in P9, Russell's in P17. So they've struggled. Look. So Russell's starting another hot lap. So okay, so what we are seeing, if you look at the tyre ages, you can see on the left of the screen the tyre ages. You've got the red marked soft tyre next to the timings on your screen, as you can see. And it says a 5 would be that they've done 5 laps on those tyres. A 2 would be that they've done a 2 laps on those tyres on this stint. As you can see, or there we go, Science 1:16.7. Times are coming down. Tyre rubber is getting onto the track. Grip is becoming better. Teams are doing a lap, then a cool down lap, and then another hot lap, and then another cool down lap. That is what we are seeing. Gasly comes through. Now the Alpines. We were saying about teams at risk. We obviously said about the Kick Saubers. The Alpines again looking very. I mean, there they are, 18th and 19th. They are nearly 2 seconds, off the pace. That will come down a little bit, I'm sure, but they are struggling again. They really are. Oh, right. Okay, so teams are going in for a fresh set of boots, as it were, as teams start to filter back into the pits. Currently, the only people on track are Sainz, Leclerc, Gasly, Ocon, Perez, Verstappen, Russell, and Hamilton, but they're not all on the hot laps either. Verstappen goes it's just P4, 4 temps off as he pits. Here comes Russell, who goes only P7. Oh, he's struggling. Only P17, 1:38. Although that was a slow down lap. Here comes Hamilton now. Hamilton coming in P9. That was a 1:42. So he is was on a cool down lap. As I said, they seem to be going out doing a lap and then a cool down lap, or even a couple of cool down laps in some cases. Verstappen's come back out, not happy, obviously, put on a new set of tyres. As Gasly comes down the straight, Gasly goes. That was 1:29. So he hasn't. What? It's the front brakes just really don't feel like they're working. Says Russell. Russell's having brake problems. They're struggling. Russell is struggling. He is P17, 118.2. This is interesting. This is interesting. Well, okay. Not good for Mercedes at the moment. So Norris is complaining about some issues with acceleration and then some locking up with the rears. Russell and Hamilton, there we go. So ninth and 10th. They're 7, 8 tenths off the pace there. They're not this Mercedes car, they're saying it drives better, it feels better, but it just doesn't seem to have the pace at the moment. Here comes Alex Albon, who does a 1:36, so he's also on a cool down lap. Here comes Gasly. I think Gasly is on a hot lap. And Gasly with 118.5 thus far goes 117.9. Hulkenberg, Ricardo, Alex Albon, Zhou Wenyu, and Ocon are currently the drivers occupying that bottom five. The bottom five drop out. For those who are new to F1, by the way, you haven't really got to grips on how this whole qualifying system works. It's a shootout. The bottom five after 80 minutes of qualifying, you go and set out your quickest lap. And after 80 minutes, the slowest 5 drivers are eliminated. And that makes the back 5 of the grid for tomorrow. Then we move into the next round of qualifying, and the slowest 5 again will be eliminated, leaving us with a final 10. And then that final 10. And this basically all sets up a grid for tomorrow's race, which we will be live, by the way, here on the F1 Fan Zone. If you're not subscribed on YouTube or not following on Facebook, don't forget to do all that YouTube, Facebook stuff, like, subscribe, and all that sort of stuff. And that way you'll be able to keep up to date. Verstappen, by the way, on a quick lap. Let's see what Verstappen does, because I'll just see if Verstappen's on a quick lap. Here we go. What can you do, Verstappen? Because you've been struggling. He's currently in P6, nearly half a second off the pace. What can he do this time round? Getting busy the track again. But Verstappen this time goes only P3. Only P3. He had the fastest first sector of anyone. Verstappen, only P3. The Red Bulls are not having it their own way. The race pace, to be fair, does look good tomorrow, but there is genuinely, and I think I think the importance of someone other than Red Bull finishing on pole tomorrow for today, of finishing on pole today and starting tomorrow will just make it a bit more. Because I think Verstappen starting in the front of the grid just has a bit too much of his own weight, doesn't he? I think this is needed just to give something, make him work for it. You know what I mean? So Gasly failing to follow race director's instructions, crossing the pit lane exit. That'll be investigated after the session. Right. Hulkenberg goes through only. It's a 1:30, so it's on a slower lap here. Here comes Magnussen, who is on, I think, also slow lap. Yeah, 1:39. Alex Albon pits. So where is Alex Albon at the moment? He is currently in. Am I going blind? Currently in P6, which is a good effort from him so far. Bottas goes 1:30.52. So cars are just starting their flying laps now. Hamilton on 1:44, so he's starting a flying lap. Here comes Zhou Wenyu, also starting a flying lap. Here comes Oscar Piastri. 1:54. So these are all on. Really seem to be that a lot of the drivers aren't on hot laps, just starting hot laps now. Verstappen still understeering too much, especially just my front tires. They already look great. So Ocon goes through with 1:36. So he's on a. Here comes Norris to start his flying lap. So now a lot of these drivers are just starting flying laps. Hulkenberg comes through. There we go, 1:17.9. Not quick enough to get out of the top 5. The Haas of Hulkenberg is struggling here. Here comes Magnussen, by the way. Can improve on his time. Just 1:17.7. Here comes Daniel Ricciardo. He's currently P17. He's in the bottom 5. Can he pull himself out of it? Ricciardo goes P10 with a 1:17.4. Here comes Lance Stroll. He's currently P9. What can you do, Lance Stroll? Goes P8. We're starting to see track evolution here. Here comes Bottas. Bottas out the bottom 5 goes P13. 117.5. Here comes Lewis Hamilton. What can Lewis Hamilton do? Only 118.5. Here comes Joe Yu. Joe Yu goes P18. It is not quick enough. Oscar Piastri pits. Here comes Gasly. Gasly is in the bottom 5 at the moment. Now Alpine struggling. What can he do? Gasly goes P17. It is not quick enough. Gasly is out. Here comes Yuki Tsunoda, currently in the bottom 5, goes P7. That will be him through. Here comes Ocon, currently P19, goes P15, but it's not quick enough. Both Alpines are out. Here comes Lando Norris, who looks like he's pitting. Here comes George Russell, who is on a flying lap. He is currently P13. George Russell this time goes P6. Better from Russell. On 117 flats. Here comes Hulkenberg, who is pits. Hulkenberg is out. So both Alpines are out. Both Hasses are out. Oh no! Look, Kick Bottas has made it through. Well, there we go. Bottas looks like to have made it through, and Ocon. So Ocon somehow managed to. So an Alpine has made it. So we've got both Hasses out. Ricardo is out. So Ricardo's lost a lap time. Ricardo's had a lap time deleted. Wow. That is why we had a sudden. So Magnussen and Haas are both out. Oh. So, look at so I can see Zhou Guanyu has got damage. The front wing of Zhou Guanyu's Sauber. And that is interesting. Right. Okay. So we are through that is Q1 done. And the bottom 5 that are out are Magnussen, Hulkenberg, Gasly, Ricardo, and Zhou Guanyu. They are your bottom 5. Bottas makes it through against the odds. Hamilton in P12 struggling, as Mercedes have been. Norris and Piastri in P11 and P9, but I feel they've got a lot more to do there with that pace. Piastri and Norris both backed off on what were quicker laps. And pulled off to the pits, presumably to save those tyres. They were through, no need to use the tyres. So now we're just waiting. Okay. And on that note, I do need a drink. Because it is 5:20 in the morning here. I've had my first cup of coffee, half of it anyway, and I do need a drink. So we'll be right back. so unprepared these days. So out of practice. Right, we're just waiting for the start of Q2. Q2 is 15 minutes in length. As you can see on the left-hand side of your screen there, Q2, 15 minutes. When the timer starts, you'll know when that's when the session starts. We'll obviously see the drivers out on the track very shortly. Who is going to drop out of the top 10? I feel that there's going to be a couple of big names out of the drop 10. I feel if I'm Hamilton, I'm worried for Hamilton in this session. I'll be honest. Right, so we are, for those who are just joining, we are live. This is, oh, here we go. First cars out on track, 14:46, 14:45. The time has now started. We are starting now, Q2. 15 minutes to go out and set your quickest lap to make the top 10 shootout. Oh, needed that. It's early here. You know what? I'm like, do I go back to bed after? Because it's only 5:25 in the morning here. And I suppose by the time we've finished, it'll be probably about 6-ish. 6:15 maybe. And it's very early, isn't it? So, yeah. Whatever you're doing, by the way, wherever you're watching from, let me know in the comment section. Where am I watching from? If you didn't know, I am in the UK. But your comments are posted here, whether you're on Facebook or on YouTube. Just type in the chat, let me know what you're thinking, where you're from, who's going to make poll, whatever, and I will post them right here. And don't forget to do all the YouTubey, Facebooky stuff, like, subscribe, and so on and so forth. And we will obviously be live for the race tomorrow as well, for those who want to catch up and watch that. And let's see what's going on. Okay, so on track, we have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 cars out. We'll have a quick count. Lando Norris just entering the track. Both Mercedes starting to enter the track there, plus Piastri coming down. Sainz coming down to start his first flying lap. Sainz was one of the first out. Same with Ocon. And followed by Verstappen, I think, was third out. So Verstappen was, well, he wasn't overly happy, was he, in that first qualifying session? It's, yeah, was not overly happy, was he? So we could see, and it's early days, and we have to take it with a pinch of salt, but we could see someone else on pole other than a Red Bull tomorrow. It's possible. It's possible. It is possible. So Sainz was the first person to start the flying lap, so we'll wait to see what Sainz does. They got into the 1:16, didn't they, at the end of Q1, sorry. So let's see what they can do this time round. So Sainz has got well, as you can imagine, he's obviously going to have the fastest second sector of anyone, because he's the only one who's set one so far. Okay, so Sainz comes through. Let's see what you can do. Carlos Sainz sets a benchmark with 1:16.6, a very quick lap. Norris is just starting his flying lap. Ocon with 1:18.8 is a lot slower. It's two seconds off. Here comes Verstappen. No, Verstappen with a 1:16.3, and suddenly the timings are starting to come down. Sainz, by the way, on new set of tyres, apparently. Leclerc with a 1:16.7. You know what I did say at the start of the season that it wouldn't surprise me if Sainz outperformed Charles Leclerc on several races this season. The irony, by the way, if Carlos Sainz was to finish above Leclerc in the World Championship, given that Sainz is losing his seat to Lewis Hamilton. Don't rule it out, it could happen. It could genuinely happen. Right, so where we at now? So Stroll, Alonso comes through there. They're just Stroll and Alonso have just set out laps 1:24 to 1:26. It's obviously not 10 seconds slower. Sector 2, Perez, fastest second sector of anyone. Norris is coming on a fast lap. Let's see what you can do, Norris. Lando Norris goes P4, 116.7, 3/10 off the lead of Verstappen's timing at the moment. We don't know who's on used sets of tyres thus far. Here comes Lewis Hamilton, by the way. Lewis Hamilton goes only P6, 117, yet to get below that 116 benchmark. He's 6 tenths off the paces, Lewis Hamilton. Here goes Piastri, P2 with a 116.6. Great lap for Piastri. Fastest first sector of anyone, Oscar Piastri. What a great lap. What a great lap. So, what else? Who else we got to come through? Russell, look, only. Oh, it's 130, so he's obviously going to do another lap. Here comes Lance Stroll. Is he on a flying lap now? He is, but only P8, 117.1. I sort of feel if you've got any chance of getting to the top 10, you need to get below that 117 benchmark, in my view. Which only the top 6 thus far have done. Yuki Tsunoda, what can you do on your... I don't think this is a flying lap for Tsunoda. I think it's just starting it. Oh, no, it was a flying lap. What do I know? So, yeah, P11, 117.4. Not going to be quick enough there. Bottas, P12, 117.7. You sort of feel it's going to be Ocon, Tsunoda, Bottas are 3 of the 5 that are likely to be eliminated. Who's the other one? Magnussen, probably. Russell is currently P14. That will come down, no doubt, but will it come down enough? You sort of feel everyone Hamilton below is at risk here. George Russell and goes only P7 himself, 116.9. He does break the 117 benchmark, but it's not great, is it, for Mercedes? They're just looking not quick enough. Piastri in the pit, by the way. All the top 6 currently in the pits. They'll have, obviously, there's plenty of time, still 8 minutes left. There's plenty of time to get on a set of new tyres, make any changes you need to make, and get back out on track. We are... Here comes Leclerc, by the way, back onto track. Currently P4. Verstappen just set a 145, but that is a outlap. So there's a few cars that are maybe affected by penalty. A few cars that have crossed the pit line on the pit entry or something. I can't. Right, so we're quite on track at the moment. We're just waiting for a few. Here comes Carlos Sainz, who is on I think he is on a quick lap. No, he's not. 141. So no, he's not on a quick lap. There we go. Russell certainly isn't on a quick lap. He's struggling. He's just very slowly coming around here, around the last into what is going to be the pitch. Yeah, he's into the pitch. Russell goes. Alex Albon comes out to set a lap time. He's currently P11. What I'd love to know what people's thoughts are, by the way. Alex Albon, Logan Sargent basically having to yield over his car to Alex Albon after Alex Albon ruins his own car in practice. Is it right? I know Alex Albon's arguably the better driver and most likely to score points, but you know what I mean. You know what I'm going to say here. Is it fair? I'd like to know what your thoughts are. Here comes Leclerc, by the way, with a 139. So outlap. A few on outlaps here. A few starting flying laps, I believe. It seems that teams are taking 1 or 2 laps. Carlos Sainz has just set the fastest first sector of anyone and a personal best second sector. So let's see what Sainz can do on his last. Could he be breaking the 116.3? Could we get into the 115s, by the way, by the end of Q3? Here comes Carlos Sainz to go 116.1. Nearly 2 times quicker than Verstappen. This is Ferrari are finding some pace here, aren't they? I like the pace here, this Ferrari. Carlos Sainz, though, as I said at the start of the season, watch out for Carlos Sainz. I think he's going to be a challenge for Leclerc. Great lap, by the way, from Carlos Sainz. Yeah, it's certainly game on, isn't it? It is certainly game on. This is probably the most exciting qualifying we've had. I know everyone's thinking must have had a blinding honeymoon, Ben. No, genuinely, this is the most exciting, most unpredictable qualifying we've had so far this season, for sure. So Leclerc only goes with a 1:16.5, 3 tenths behind his teammates. Okay, Ocon is currently P15. What can you do, Ocon? Can you move up the grid at all? I think he's done very well to get where he is, to be fair, in that Alpine. And stays P15, 118. Actually went slower, I think. Oh no, it was a fight. Yeah, it was one. It was a personal best, but a long way off. I mean, nearly 2 seconds off pole. Here comes Alonso, who is currently P10, needs to improve. Oh, he's 129, so he's starting a lap by the looks of things. At risk are the Aston Martins at the moment. Alex Albon, what can you do? P11 only thus far, 117.1. It was only just. I mean, it's a good effort. Only just, but what we are seeing is both Red Bulls, both Ferraris, both McLarens, both Mercedes, and both Aston Martins, who arguably the top 5 sides or top 5 teams, are all in for both drivers, so make up the entire top 10. So, as it stands, Hamilton's just coming out now to start a warm-up lap. Charles Leclerc heads off into the pits. I'm guessing that he will call that his work done for Q2. With just 3 minutes and 30 seconds to go. Again, for those who are a little bit new to Formula One, once the timer hits 0, doesn't mean that you can finish the lap you're on. So as long as you start your flying lap before the timer hits 0, you can complete the lap you're on. Alonso goes P7 there, moves up slightly in the timesheets. Lance Stroll now at risk of P10, but both Russell and Hamilton both also at risk. But I'm just not sure the teams below, the drivers below, have what it takes to get that benchmark. It is tight. It is very tight. They need a 10th. But look, the gap between Alex Albon, who's in P11, to Yuki Tsunoda, who's in P12, 0.9 to 1.2. There's a 3/10 difference there. Hard work, I think, to get into the top 10 for those drivers. So even in P9, Hamilton, you feel may well be safe. Norris and Piastri come out now to set other lap times. On what are they on? The McLaren said the system doesn't know what they're on. It's a question mark tires. They're on. There we go. It's always going to be on soft tires, but you know. Hamilton starts his flying lap. There's some traffic in front of him, mind. But everyone else has now got to make a bit of a hurry up to get back round. 2-minute warning has gone. There is the 2-minute warning. Magazine comes round and goes 1:34. So he's starting his flying lap. Here comes George Russell. George Russell is, I think, starting a flying lap. Yeah, 1:43. So here comes Fernando Alonso, I believe, on the cool down lap himself. Yeah, 1:40. So he's just starting. Perez has just joined the action as well. Ocon with a 1:42. So they're all just starting their flying laps now. Yuki Tsunoda, he is currently P12. 1:59 starting his flying lap. We've got a few now starting their flying laps. We've got a bit of a queue, actually. Just above my head there, you can see a bit of a queue. Everyone obviously waiting for gaps to form. Leclerc goes through and Hamilton goes through with a 1:16.9. Improves on his lap time, but only P9 still. Only P9. It's a personal best by Hamilton, but I mean, it's just the Mercedes just doesn't quite look. Magnussen, by the way, goes P12 with a 117.4. Not enough to get through though. What can Fernando Alonso do? P7 is his current best time. Goes into P6 with a 116.7. Here comes Bottas. Bottas goes P13, P12. Good effort there from Bottas. Russell and Ocon comes through 117.6. Long way off the pace there. Checkered flag. There's the checkered flag. So Yuki Tsunoda makes it into the top 10 with a P8. Hamilton at risk now. Lance Stroll, can you push Hamilton out? Hamilton may be out. Lance Stroll goes P8. Lewis Hamilton may be out. In fact, he is out. Here comes Leclerc, P2, 116.3. Here comes Lando Norris, 116.9. It's slower. What about Piastri? What can you do? Piastri peels off into the pit. Piastri decided not to finish that lap, save that set of tyres. Hamilton is out. Hamilton out. And Russell in P10. P10 and P11 as it stands. I mean, that is, wow. Mercedes. Oh, Mercedes. Mercedes are wow. Just seeing the radio message. Hamilton's worst qualifying since 2010, where he qualified 11th then as well. So Hamilton starts tomorrow in P11. P11 for Hamilton. So we now have our top 10 shootout, those eliminated, making up from P11 rather. Hamilton, Alex Albon, Bottas, Magnussen and Ocon. Sainz with a 116.1, setting the benchmark going into the final qualifying. It is a shootout for pole, and we may have finally someone other than Red Bull popping up the grid tomorrow. Oh, right. Take a breather, everyone, because we've got a couple of minutes. We've got 5 minutes or so until Q3 starts. Grab yourself a coffee, grab yourself a cup of tea, drink of some sort. I'm on the old squash here today. And let's gear up for what could be a very, very interesting Q3. Right, so we are just waiting for Q3 to get underway. For those who have just joined, I see people coming and going all the time. We are live on Facebook, we are live on YouTube. We are just waiting for the start of Q3. And as you can see from the timings on the left-hand side of the screen, Lewis Hamilton eliminated. Yes, Lewis Hamilton eliminated in Q2, only P11. In fact, both Mercedes are struggling. Russell does make it though, P10, just about makes it, but blimey. Oh, wow. Okay, so goes into Q3. Sainz, Leclerc, Verstappen, Piastri, Perez, Alonso, Norris, Stroll, Yuki Tsunoda. There is the surprise, because Yuki Tsunoda In that RB Visa Cash App, whatever you want to call it, let's just keep it Toro Rosso for simple terms. Ricciardo in the same car, P18, back to the grid tomorrow. If you're wondering, by the way, why there's only 19 cars on the timing screen rather than 20, no Logan Sargent this weekend after a crash by Alex Albon in practice on Friday, so yesterday. The car was damaged beyond repair, or certainly beyond a repair that can be done for the race. As a result, Sargent's car has been given to Alex Albon. I'd love to know what people's thoughts are on that, by the way, because it seems somewhat controversial to me that they should take Sargent's car. Alex Albon's the one that's had the crash, and yet he's driving Logan Sargent's car. So Logan Sargent isn't racing this weekend as a result. I'd like to know what people's thoughts are, by the way, on that. Also, there's a lot, and now I'm going to do a separate video on this during the week, so keep an eye out for that. But there's a lot obviously going on off circuits, particularly as we know regarding Red Bull, as it has been all season. They've been dominant both on the track and off the track so far this season for Red Bull, and that is only going to continue. Just looking at so where Daniel Ricciardo was eliminated, it was he had initially done enough to get through, but he slapped on the lead, and I've just seen a replay of where he went off the circuit. And is it not so warm? I mean, I'm just seeing some of the, by the way, on the TV coverage, the like a bit warm. They've got jackets on and whatnot. Just they're not as warm in Melbourne as it would normally be. It says their track temperature. We've got a track temperature, but I'll be able to tell what track temperature is in a minute. Hardly any wind, by the way. Very calm, virtually no wind. Track temperature 34 degrees, yeah. But the air temperature is only 19. Only 19 degree air temperature. It's not the warmest. But that said, it is autumn time, isn't it? In Australia, on the southern tip to Australia, anyway. Okay, so we are just waiting now for the cars to enter back onto the track for Q3. There you go. You've got your top 10 there on the left-hand screen. That's not currently. That is the order of which they finished Q2 on. That obviously is going to change once they start to come onto the track. And so we are watching for wherever it is you're watching from. Let me know. I am in the UK. If you haven't told my very, very British accent, watching from the UK, it is 5:48 in the morning here. I'm trying to keep because you've got headphones on. You don't realise how loud you're talking, but I'm sure the wife is in bed going, "Shut up, you bloody idiot." Mexico. It is bloody middle of the night in Mexico. Well, yeah, 7 hours behind, so it's going to be late. Okay, very late in the evening in Mexico. Welcome, by the way. Right, so there we go. Cars starting to come onto the track. As you can see, we've got Carlos Sainz leading the way. Favourite perhaps for pole, Carlos Sainz. There I say it. Here comes George Russell, followed by is that Alonso, followed by Leclerc. Are your first cars out? Yuki Tsunoda also making his way out now. That, I mean, as to be said, was a surprise to see Yuki Tsunoda in the final three, in the final 10. Sorry, could be interesting. I mean, Verstappen not just not make pole? Could he fail to make the top two? Could he fail to make front row? Is it possible? Those Ferraris are looking quick over a single lap pace, has to be said. And don't discount someone like a Piastri, by the way.
on his home Grand Prix. He's been doing well, actually. So Norris is also out on track as well as Verstappen. Here comes Perez. I think all 10 are now out on track. No, Lance Stroll. Lance Stroll is the only one yet to take to the circuit. So we've got 9 of the 10 out. Carlos Sainz coming through to start his flying lap. Carlos Sainz was the first one through to start the flying lap, followed by George Russell, followed by Fernando Alonso. Let's see what you can do here, Carlos Sainz, because you've been the quickest throughout qualifying, without a doubt. As Leclerc comes around to start his qualifying time. Both normally you get 2 attempts, really, two flying laps. Normally the procedure in Q3 is to come out, do your warm-up lap, do a flying lap, do your cool-down lap and pit, come back out and do it all again. That's normally what happens, about as much time as you get to fit in. Here comes Yuki Tsunoda to start his flying lap, followed by Oscar Piastri. Let's see what sort of timings they can do. 1:16.1 was the quickest time in Q2, sorry. Here comes Max Verstappen to start his flying lap. And followed by Fernando Norris. Oh dear, stays early. Here comes Perez, and here comes Carlos Sainz. He set the first timing, who goes 1:16.3. It's a quick time, but it's not the quickest time that he's done. Here comes George Russell, by the way, with 1:16.8, half a second off the pace. Fernando Alonso, you got to feel, by the way, Russell's going to not be anywhere near pole on that. Alonso pits. Here comes Leclerc, though. What can Leclerc do? 1:16.4, currently P2. Not quick enough, though, isn't it? I told you. Look back at this video in 6 months' time and tell me I'm wrong. Here comes Yuki Tsunoda, by the way. He goes with a P4, 1:17.3. That's not going to be quick enough. Oscar Piastri goes P3 now with 1:16.8. They're not as quick. Verstappen's on the fastest first and second sector, by the way. Verstappen's going to go quickest here, I'm sure. Verstappen goes 1:16.0, 2 tenths quicker than everyone else. Here comes Lando Norris. What can Norris do? P4, 1:16.5. Here comes Sergio Perez, goes P4, 1:16.4. So, game on again. The pendulum has swung back towards Red Bull of Verstappen. Can the Ferraris come out and put something in? Perez, by the way, got the second fastest sector of anyone, but still only finished P4. Right, so everyone will go back in, pit, come back out and do it all again. Ooh, Fernando Alonso. Fernando Alonso was a lucky man. Oh, he is a lucky boy, Fernando. He's come off the track through an S-bend, and somehow he's kept it on the road. He's gone through the gravel. How on earth he's missed the wall, I have no idea. That could have been a really big accident. Wow. That was lucky. That would have been a red flag. That would have changed. That would have been interesting. Check the floor on the left side for damage from Oscar Piastri. So they're going to check the. They're looking. I can see them looking now. Some of the engineers looking for damage. Right. That was a quick lap from Verstappen. Everyone back in the pits now. We're all waiting for everyone to come back out. Just watching Oscar Piastri. Yeah. getting some radio message. 1 second. So yeah, so turn 10, Oscar Piastri, just over the curbs there. You see the car moving around. It doesn't look like there's anything untoward. He didn't leave the track per se. Lance Stroll now back on track. Lance Stroll, who has yet to set a time, by the way. So he's coming out to do what is probably going to be his only lap by the looks of things. And right, we are waiting now for everyone else to come back out onto track. Right, here we go. We have got 4 minutes left of qualifying. Just a reminder, you don't need to complete your lap before the time runs out. You just need to have started it. So as long as you start a lap before the time runs out, you can finish the lap you're on. Just a note there. Here comes George Russell, by the way, now out onto track. Ooh, starting to get light outside here. 5 to 6 in the morning here in the UK, by the way. Very early start, and it's going to be an even earlier start tomorrow, by the way, for the Grand Prix. 4 a.m. UK time. Make sure your alarms are set. Will we be live tomorrow for the race? You can bet your sorry ass we will be. We will be live for the race tomorrow as well at 4 a.m. UK time. 5 a.m. if you're in European time. So make sure you're following us, subscribed, and all that sort of YouTubey, Facebooky stuff, and join us tomorrow for the race. As all the cars are starting to gradually make themselves out now. Verstappen, Perez, Sainz. There's a McLaren there. Can't see which one. What McLaren is it that's come out there? Is that Piastri? That's come out. Lance Stroll on a flying lap, by the way. See what Lance Stroll can do. He's currently P10. Oh, that's okay. Leclerc coming out. Here comes Lance Stroll. Goes P8 with a 117.2. Right, here we go. The final stints of Q3 for the Australian Grand Prix. Let's find out what I said in this bottom way. Alonso comes through to start the flying lap. We've got 2 minutes of qualifying to go. I don't think Verstappen, 2 in the morning. I don't think Verstappen is on a flying lap here. Sainz dropped off. Piastri's dropped off. Maybe everyone's doing a warm-up lap, but here comes Verstappen, starts his flying lap, followed by Perez, followed by Sainz, followed by Piastri, followed by Norris. Here we go, starting flying laps now. Alonso's also on the flying lap. So is Yuki Tsunoda. Piastri starts his flying lap with 1 minute 24 to go. Here we go, ladies and gents. We are going to find out in the next 2 minutes who is going to be starting pole tomorrow and what the rest of the grid's going to be for the top 10. He's flying lap, followed by Leclerc. So Verstappen leads the way in terms of not just in timing, but in terms of the last flying lap. Verstappen's set a personal best first a purple sector, first sector. Sainz has now set the fastest first sector. Oh, game on, game on. Alonso crosses with a 130, so he is starting a final flying lap. Here comes Verstappen. 1:16.0 was the lap. I said we could get into the 1:15s, and we have 1:15.9 on Verstappen. Here comes Sergio Perez, by the way. What can you do, Perez? P2 with a 1:16.2. Here comes Carlos Sainz. What can you do, Carlos? P2, 1:16.1. Here comes Piastri. What can you do? Can you improve on your time? Company P6 goes. P5. Here comes Lando Norris. P4. 1:16.3. George Russell comes through. Currently in P7. Stays P7. 1:16.7. Long way of the pace. Long way of the pace. Leclerc looks like he's not going to do much. Oh, Leclerc pits. Leclerc pits. Leclerc starts P5. Lance Stroll coming through. What can Stroll do? 1:17 flat. P8. Yuki Tsunoda currently P9. Goes P8. 1:16.7. Here comes Fernando Alonso. P10. 1:17.5. He struggled there. He struggled, and there you have it. There is your top 10. Verstappen takes pole. Sainz, followed by Perez, followed by Norris. Leclerc only P5. Oh wow! It's slightly mixed grey. A slightly mixed up grid there. Mercedes struggling. Hamilton only P11. Alonso and Stroll 9th and 10th. Yuki Tsunoda, excellent job there with a P8. Russell will start in P7. Oscar Piastri will start in P6 alongside Charles Leclerc. Norris and Perez share the second row of the grid, and then the front row of the grid, Sainz followed by Verstappen. It is going to be an interesting start to tomorrow's race. It is going to be key for Sainz to try and get past Verstappen in that first couple of sectors. The race pace data isn't as great for Red Bull as it has been in previous weeks. There's definitely opportunities tomorrow. I've got a Facebook user. Unfortunately, it's not showing your name, but thanks very much for your comments. And that's, ladies and gentlemen, is that for qualifying. We will obviously be back tomorrow for the race. If you haven't subscribed already, don't forget to subscribe, like, follow if you're watching on Facebook, etc. We've got a lot of viewers up to date on Facebook. We are live on 2 different Facebook pages, the F1 Fan Zone and Ben Joel Bridie, depending on which channel you are watching. The F1 Fan Zone, also on YouTube. If you want to watch us on YouTube and you're on Facebook, just search on YouTube F1 Fans, and you should see my logo there. Don't forget to follow us there, and that way you can set the little bell and it will tell you when we're live, blah, 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 and so on. But as always, appreciate everyone's support. We will be back for the race tomorrow, 4 a.m. UK time. Set your alarms if you're in the UK, or in Europe, 5 a.m. Very early race tomorrow. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is that, as they say. I will see you all tomorrow morning.